Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Spencer Hawes here with nichepursuits.com, and today I want to talk about a company called Substack. Is Substack the new blogging? We're going to dive into that question, exactly what Substack does, in addition to some of its pros, its cons, and then alternative options that you might have if you want to have a premium email newsletter. Now, if you like this type of content, definitely hit that subscribe button. And if you like the beard, please give this video a thumbs up so that I know if you like the new look. So essentially, Substack is a platform for independent publishers to charge subscribers to be a part of their premium newsletter. So if you have a weekly newsletter that you're putting a ton of time and effort into, and you thought, hey, I'd like to charge my subscribers to get access to this content, Substack is a platform that makes that super easy to do. You just log in, you set up your email newsletter. They have all the tools that you need to start charging for subscribers to get access to your content. Now, if you have done some Googling or some Twittering lately, you'll notice that Substack's pretty hot right now. In fact, they got about $15 million in funding from Andreessen Horowitz last year, and it feels like publishers are really flocking to the platform. But is writing a weekly newsletter any different than blogging weekly? No, it really isn't any different. There's nothing new or fancy here. However, it's a trend that is really interesting because it does allow publishers an easier and faster way to launch a premium email newsletter. Whereas before you had to cobble together several different tools and the technology really wasn't there to make it easy for you to start charging for your email newsletter. So if you write well enough and consumers truly are looking for your type of research and are interested in receiving your weekly or daily email newsletter, then Substack might be a great tool for you. Now, there's companies out there like The Hustle and The Morning Brew. They've developed a huge following for publishing daily email newsletters. Now, they don't use Substack, but they've proven that you can build a huge following. I think The Morning Brew has something like 1.5 million email subscribers, and they're making a lot of money from their sponsorships and their email ads. Now, they have The Hustle and The Morning Brew, I believe both, have added a premium weekend newsletter, and so they do charge their subscribers. So they're showing that this model of premium email newsletters can work. There is somebody else out there named Richard Patey, who I've mentioned here before. He does have a premium email newsletter, and it is on Substack. And so he's using the Substack platform now to send out his investing weekly deals and all the research that he does into buying and selling websites in a premium newsletter, and he's using Substack. And so he's found it a really easy way to monetize his email list. Now, what are some of the pros and what are some of the cons of using Substack? So I've written down a whole list here that I'm going to be referring to of some of the pros and cons that you might want to consider. Now, first, of course, is that Substack is super easy to use. You don't have to have any coding skills or any really technology background to get your email newsletter up and running. You just log into Substack, use their platform, and you're ready to start collecting payments. You just have to do the marketing to get the subscribers. And of course, it's super easy to make money from. They provide the tools, again, to collect those payments so that you can make money. In addition, Substack makes it easy to monetize podcasts. So if you want to keep your podcast behind a paywall, you can do that. Substack has that option as part of their platform. Now, in addition, I've also read, and I'm not personally a Substack user, but I have read that they have lots of really interesting analytics. So you can see where your email subscribers are coming from, what type of content they're reading, and just a lot of data as it relates to your premium email newsletter. So that's really is a huge pro of Substack. Now, some of the cons is that it's not on your own platform. You are on Substack's platform, and as I understand, it's really hard to export that content. If Substack were ever to go away, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. They've got a lot of funding. They should be around for a long time. But if they were ever to lock down that content, you perhaps would not be able to get access to that. And so that is a con. And some of the branding, you can't have your own domain. So I can't have the nichepursuits.com newsletter, right? It's going to be nichepursuits.com.substack or a subfolder on Substack. That's going to be where people subscribe and go. So you don't have full control over some of the branding, and that can be an issue for larger companies. In that same vein, you don't have a lot of customization options. You're on the Substack platform, and so you don't have a lot of the styling, formatting, your own branding, the colors, a lot of those things. In addition, you can't do as much segmentation or tagging, right? It's not a full in-depth email platform. It's really, you have people subscribe to your premium email newsletter, you send them an email. It's super simple to use, and that's a big reason for its growth, but it's also part of the downside, is you don't have that added functionality that a more mature email newsletter provider like a MailChimp or a Drip or something like that might have. Overall, you lose a little bit of control with Substack, but that might be outweighed by some of the benefits. Now, the big con here that I feel is the cost. Substack charges you 10% of your premium email newsletter subscriber fees. So if you're only making, let's say, $500 a month from your email newsletter, that's only $50, not a big deal. Substack is a great option. Maybe if you're only making $5,000 a month, if you want to pay $500 a month, sure, that might be okay. But if you really grow your business and you start making $50,000 a month because you've got 50,000 subscribers all paying $1 a month, that's a huge bill. $5,000 is way more than you would pay if you were to, say, be on a ConvertKit where you might pay $500 a month to have 50,000 subscribers. And so it is much, much more expensive, especially as you grow. And so that might be something that you might consider. If you really are trying to grow a large, sustainable business, you might not want to be locked in to something like Substack and stuck on their platform because the fees are so tremendous. Now, what are some alternatives here? Well, one is you can essentially just set up your own technology stack. It really isn't going to be that hard. And so I did some digging, and I have to give a hat tip to Kevin Indig. He shared that he is using Memberful plus ConvertKit, and that works seamlessly. He tried out Substack, and for various reasons, he decided to build it on his own. And so getting an integration with ConvertKit, your existing email newsletter provider, probably isn't going to be that hard. I would imagine that you could go over to like Upwork, pay somebody less than $500 to get you all set up and running to where you have some sort of membership platform like a Memberful and your email newsletter provider. They're synced up, so you're collecting payments, and only your premium email newsletter subscribers are actually getting that content. So if you have just a little bit of technology chops, I think it would be just as easy to set it up on your own and to avoid the higher fees. And then you get all the upside potential of you get all your own branding, it's on your own domain, you have much more functionality with tagging and segmentation by using a full email newsletter provider. So is Substack really the new blogging? I don't know. It's a hot new trend right now. I think it's really exciting, and I do love that it is allowing small independent publishers a way to make money from their content. So any company that's trying to do that, I applaud them. I think it's exciting to have more options in the marketplace. And so if you want to make money from your email list, consider going over to Substack, but also go in with open eyes that there are some cons. You might be able to do it by yourself much cheaper. It's a great trend. How long is Substack going to be around? I don't know. I think they're going to be around certainly for at least the next couple of years, but maybe as people see the alternatives, such as I mentioned, that it might be faster, maybe not faster, but it might be much cheaper to set up a couple of different options, membership site plus ConvertKit, and no long percentage fees on your revenue. Maybe people won't flock to Substack quite as quickly. So we'll see. It's something to keep an eye on in the marketplace. We'll see where Substack goes. It's an exciting development, and hopefully you've enjoyed some of my analysis, some of my thoughts here. And if you have, please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well so that YouTube knows that you enjoy this type of content. Thanks again for watching.